biggest challenges we face here at Piano Workshop is that we encounter students with not only very diverse, different cultural backgrounds, but each with different family values, different motivations for taking private lessons, and different tastes in music, and also a different set of expectations about what they really want to accomplish. We take pride in helping students not only develop appreciation for many different styles of music, but to provide them with performance opportunities, creative challenges, the right pathways to musicianship, and the ability to speak intelligently about musical concepts, and most of all, keep it fun. Students are very self-motivated with clearly defined goals. They participate in competitions, the Music Achievement Program, the Music Fest in South Jersey, where first place performers get to play at Carnegie Hall. They participate in the Piano Guild auditions and MEA auditions as well. Students are desperately trying to find ways to be more creative with what they are doing and learning. Maybe that particular popular piece that they're playing just doesn't sound as it does on iTunes, or maybe they're more advanced and just want to experiment with different instruments so they have their own backing track to play along with. One tool that we know our students have tried to use and our teachers use as well is Garageband. First of all, it's installed on every Mac computer and iPad, and to download is only a few dollars. It's simple and intuitive and offers endless possibilities to students in order to tap into their creativity. There's two examples really. One that I want to share is utilizing an accompaniment. So with GarageBand, it gives you so many opportunities and options to play, not only play with different instruments, but to get some ideas on how they function, because they have what we call smart instruments. So if I was a singer, for example, and I needed to make myself a little accompaniment, I would go into the smart keyboard. And in the smart keyboard, I can pick a number of different sounds. I can pick organ, or I could pick electric piano or a synthesizer. And let's just suppose I wanted to set up the chords for a popular tune, for example, All of Me by John Legend. So all I really have to do is press the record button, and I have this on auto accompanying, and I'm going to play my chords. I know it's 2 measures, then the chords change, then they change again. There's going to be one more change. And basically, there's my chorus for All of Me. I can even add the melody if I want to. Here I put in a little organ track just because I can't sing, so I play the organ into this, and now you can hear the melody along with the drums and along with the chords. One of my favorite parts of this whole GarageBand is the smart drums. So I don't know how clearly you heard that, but the smart drum starts on a grid. And basically we pick our drum set that we'd like to use. In this case, we'll pick a classic studio kit. And on the left side of the grid it says simple, on the right is complex, the top is loud, and the bottom is soft. So if I start with my bass drum and I put it something relatively simple, going to make this just a little faster because right now it's set for 80. We'll bring it up to 100 or so. And then we're going to add our snare drum. Then we're going to add our hi-hats just a little bit. Maybe we want to add a little congas. And all of a sudden we have a little bit of a drum loop that we can say if we want to just record this and have this to play along with something else that we're playing and put it on the piano. It makes it very, very, very easy. A second example is setting up a groove. We did this with one of our jazz students last week, where we played a little groove into the piano, into the microphone, into Garageband, and we added some drums, and we just had that groove and the drums loop continuously, and then we were able to improvise and do some other really fun things with it. So here's an example of a little groove that we made with one of our jazz students. We played the piano and we recorded this little groove, and after we recorded it, we just hit loop over here, which means it's just going to repeat every 8 measures. It's just going to repeat itself. So we have our groove, and here it is. It's a little bit of a jazzy, bluesy kind of groove. When it gets to the end, it's just going to repeat itself. This is actually a Keith Jarrett groove. And then we added the little drum loop that I just demonstrated earlier to that. And all of a sudden, now we have a nice little groove. If we want to play piano and improvise over this groove, or if we want to play saxophone over this groove, or just do a number of things while this groove is playing. There's no substitute for practicing. There's no substitute for learning how to play scales and arpeggios and learning your theory and studying the classics so you really develop a touch on the piano. This technology was not available when I was growing up. And one of the things about the piano workshop is that I know how I felt when I was taking lessons when I was young. And one of our goals is really to keep it fun, tap into creativity, and keep it interesting.
Because what I think we should do now, why don't we add some strings?